Crashers. It's a Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Utah winning the toss and deferring. So Furman of the Pitt Panthers is stopped short of the 15-yard line. And now Tyler Palko, the homegrown product, started at West Allegheny High School. And we asked the left-hander about attacking Utah's defense.
We need to stay out of bad down and distances, not only early in the game, but, we need to stay out of bad down and distances, period. So positive yards on first down, maybe take some shots on second down, and we need to execute on third down. It's no secret what we need to do.
In Pitt's last 5 games, he's thrown 16 TDs with only 2 interceptions. Here on the first play, toss to Tim Murphy, who will operate at tailback because Raymond Kirkley is out with an injury. Now the Tostitos Pittsburgh offense. And his favorite target is rangy Greg Lee from Tampa, Florida, 1,000-yard receiver. The offensive line is anchored by left tackle Rob Petiti. Folks, he has been bothered all day by the flu. The coaches are going to monitor him very carefully and see that he has enough fluid. It is now second down and long for Palko and the Panthers, who come in as a 16-point underdog to the winners of the Mountain West. Murphy cuts back to the middle, short of the first down. I'm Brett Musburger with Gary Danielson and Jack Arute. We wish you all a very happy new year as we continue the BCS Bowls here on ABC. Utah, the party crasher. They, of course, were the first outsider to make the BCS Bowl. Pittsburgh qualifying as champions of the Big East almost by default. Here comes their third down play. Palko splits his backs. Murphy and Furman. Straight back. Time, first down. To the 36-yard line, Greg Lee with his first reception of the game. Palko hits his favorite target for 13 yards.
It's going to be simple for Palko all game in this game if he gets the protection. You know the coverages when you go against Utah. They play man-to-man, face-to-face, all over the football field. If you run your routes with precision, and that is the trademark of a Walt Harris football team, you can beat them.
First down and 10, straight I formation. Play fake, off the action, 2 for 2, out of bounds against this Utah defense. The Utah defense now, and it features 330-pound tackle Sione Buaha, who bench presses 475 pounds. Linebacker Spencer Toon completed his 2-year Mormon mission down in Australia. And at free safety, Morgan Scally, he's intercepted 6 passes and returned a kickoff for a touchdown this year. And Joe Del Sardo was the target on that last pass, and they have crossed midfield after the 19-yard gain. Palko hands off to the fullback. He crosses the 45-yard line. How big would it be here, Gary, for the Panthers to strike first in this game?
I don't think there's a more improved football team in the country, Brent. We saw them early, right, against Nebraska. They really struggled with a lot of young football players, but they have grown. That coach, Walt Harris, has done a job with his new quarterback, Tyler Palko. This is not just any kid. Palko was the Pennsylvania High School Football Player of the Year, highly recruited, a great thrower, kind of a gym rat at quarterback.
Second down and 8. They run the toss flea flicker. Here comes Palko. Receiver couldn't get open. Palko freelances. Almost back to the line of scrimmage, but this will bring up a tough third down. Now, the emerging force on this Pittsburgh offense has been tight end Eric Gill. He replaced Eric Wilson, who was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. And as the season progressed, Walt Harris, who features the West Coast offense and will take it to the West Coast next year at Stanford, they have gotten the tight end more and more involved in this game. On third down, sidestepping, under pressure, throws it away, and the Utah defense holds. Panthers are forced to punt.
It's all about protection when you play Utah. You know they are going to bring people. Kyle Whittingham, their new head coach in waiting, defensive coordinator here for 10 years. comes after the quarterback. He sacks people. He goes and gets them. That's Kyle right there. He knows the best way to stop Tyler Palko is to put him on his back.
Adam Gressel back to punt, standing on the Panther 40-yard line. Eric Weddle is back on the Utah 10. High punt. Pittsburgh could not stop it inside the 10-yard line, so it'll come out on the 20. We'll take our first break. Scoreless in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Pittsburgh, winners of the Big East, against the unbeaten Mountain West champions from Salt Lake, the Utah Utes. And now our first look at this high-octane offense. Quarterback Alex Smith back in the shotgun. The running back alongside features motion. Goes empty in the backfield. Spreads it out wide now. Marty Johnson out to the right. Fires middle, caught, complete, and a first down on the first play of the game. Well, Smith is Utah's first Heisman Trophy finalist, and we asked him about probing Pittsburgh's defense early.
I think the goal will definitely be to spread them out, so run some option, obviously spread the field, get our base plays in to kind of get a feel of what they're going to do.
And on that first play, spreading the field out 14 yards to Steve Savoy. Now, Savoy, to give you an idea about this offense, Savoy has 17 touchdowns on the season, 11 receiving and 6 rushing.
If you've been watching a lot of the bowl games, you've been seeing a lot of penalties. Since first start of the game, a little legal procedure by Utah. They were not set. There was a head bob, a little motion right there, and they got moved back.
Gordon Reese heads this Pac-10 crew in this game here in Tempe tonight. And Urban Meyer, who will take his show to Florida next season. So in effect, I guess it's the lame duck coaching bowl here tonight with Walt Harris leaving for Stanford. And Urban Meyer will go down to the SEC. So now it is first down and 15 after the penalty, and the Utes will start back on the 15-yard line. Here is that motion look, and then using the running game off of it straight ahead and probing with Marty Johnson. Now here's our Tostitos Utah offense. Smith's home run target, we've seen him, is Savoy. Remember now he can catch and run too on that end around. And the offensive line features Hawaiian Chris Kemoeatu, his brother, a defensive lineman, and they were the two that led the way out in the pregame warmups. They were talking smack at the middle of the field. The two big Kemoeatu brothers, and they were out there leading the way. Now it is second down and 7 for the Utes and Smith. Again, he empties out the backfield against that base 4-3 look. Offensive line gives Alex time. He comes over the middle to Paris Warren, and there's a story. A few years ago, number 5 Paris Warren was wearing the uniform of the Oregon Ducks. He was in for 14 plays. Joey Harrington did not throw to him once in that game, and so now in his second Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, he has his first reception as a member of the Utah Utes.
Pittsburgh stays with their base defense. They keep 3 linebackers on the field, and matched up on that play against Warren was a middle linebacker.
On first down, Smith chased out of the pocket on the move, and it is at the 40-yard line. So we were hesitating for the official to make the mark over there to see that he was in bounds, and clearly he was. And you can see the backup quarterback, Brian Johnson, number 3, signaling plays. And now Urban getting his players back from the sideline as John Madsen makes the reception, the junior from West Valley City, Utah. Now it is second down. Moving the pocket, there's that shovel pass. And on the completion, Paris Warren picks up the Utah for the first down. So now the Pittsburgh defense, and they feature senior tackles Dan Stevens and all Big East Vince Krachunas. Linebacker H.B. Blades, and yes, he is the son of former All-Pro safety Benny Blades. Miami Hurricanes here with us tonight. 3-year starter Tez Morris is one of the best tacklers on this Pitt team. He's got to prevent big plays here tonight. First down and 10. Utah's first drive of the game under pressure. Drops it off to Warren. Warren in a foot race has space. And he is out of bounds across the 30-yard line at the 27-yard line. And he picks up the first and 10 on the 28-yard gain.
You call that play H option. That's the H back, and he's going to run an option. He reads if it's man or zone. He looks at the quarterback, and he's got the option of going either way. Look at Alex Smith. He holds onto the ball to the last second and then just drops it off to the H-back. Paris Warren is not the speed guy, but that option in the seam, you have to have the quarterback and that receiver on the same page, and they do it beautifully.
First down and 10. An offense that spreads the field wide and then will come back right up the middle. And we asked Alex Smith why this Urban Meyer offense works so well.
When they put in their blitz packages, when they're playing their defenses, they have to play assignment football. Everything's got to be able to play the option. So we really limit what teams can do in that sense. And the combination of that with, being able to throw the ball like we do, I think really creates problems.
He has a choice to make. He can come back to Utah next year, or he can go to the NFL. We've been told by sources that he will declare for the draft. We'll have to wait and see how that story unfolds. He can, of course, talk to an agent when this game is over. And let's check in down below with Jackaboo. Jack, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys up there. Brent, there's a big change on the sidelines offensively for this team, for the Utah Utes. Dan Mullen, who is Alex Smith's quarterbacks coach, is taking over offensive coordinator duties, and he's calling the plays for the first time on the sidelines. That's a little bit different, Gary, and sometimes that can upset a quarterback.
Looks like they got everything that they pick right now, though, Jack, is working. It might not be too hard when you just can grab anything and it goes.
And, of course, Alex Smith, who graduated in 2 years, brought enough credits from Helix High School down San Diego way. And here he is just simply taking off. They gave him the corner, and he picks up the first and 10. And there is a penalty flag down at the 22-yard line.
I think big Chris Kemoyatu that they're held on that play, number 68. He really didn't need to do it, but looked to me like right at the end of the play, he kind of grabbed him.
Face mask signal.
Kemoyatu came around to turn and just grabbed, it looked like.
Well, a reminder that Monday night now at 8 Eastern, undefeated Auburn will take on ACC champion Virginia Tech in the Nokia Sugar Bowl, and then the big one, USC against Oklahoma in the FedEx Orange Bowl Tuesday night, 8 Eastern. 2 unbeaten teams, 2 Heisman Trophy winners. Doesn't get any better than that.
Another advantage of Brent for Dan Mullen in this game calling plays is Pittsburgh is very basic in their defenses. They don't give you a lot of different looks. They try to keep everything in front of them, very sound, and they say, let's make plays knowing what we know we're going to do. Let's not trick ourselves.
Utah spreads the field clear across with 5 wide. Sometimes they'll use motion from their slots. This time they do not. He comes back left in underneath to John Madsen again, his second completion of the game, and Darren Thomas, the redshirt freshman from Forestville, Maryland, jumps him.
Yeah, that's the strategy right there for this Pitt defense right now. Paul Rhodes, their defensive coordinator, has faced this defense and offense, a number of times. West Virginia runs a similar type running quarterback option, and he says you must keep everyone in front of you. There's Paul right there. He's going defense safe. Stay out there looking for the fake.
On 4th down, Matt Kabakovich checks in, and now look at that punt formation for Utah. The 3 protectors, and they break quickly to get down the field to cover. Urban Meyer's a special teams coach, and he's got this one down inside the 5-yard line. So Utah takes advantage in a difference between the NCAA and the NFL. On the snap, get downfield in cover, and the Utes were all over that punt.
The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive presentation brought to you by Tostitos. Nothing brings people together like Tostitos chips and salsa. Tostitos, share something good. Nokia. Take a closer look at Nokia. So much more than just a phone. The Home Depot. You can do it, we can help. And Chevy, an American Revolution, supercharged for 2005.
What you must do against Utah is hold off the blitzkrieg. That is their first half advantage. And Gary, we've seen them now their first series. We've watched Pittsburgh. What's your feeling here?
My impression is that Pittsburgh can throw the ball if they can protect the quarterback, and Utah sees a lot of things out there when they are moving their offense that they can attack. I think both teams offensively are pretty happy with what they see.
From behind, Murphy, who again operates at tailback. He can also be a fullback. Palco working against the clock. This is a big Utah crowd here tonight, folks, as Murphy steps over to the left side. That was a great view of Murphy picking his way before Hackenbrook brought him down.
Yeah, Murphy's a little bit of the all-purpose back. He'll play in the one-back set all game. He's a good pass protector. He's really emerged as he's gotten healthy for Pittsburgh. As they've grown up, this football team knows they can move the ball, and they know that they're going to come after Utah if they can pick up the blitz. Watch it all night. That's the key.
On second down, firing for the first down. If he gets a spot, Del Sardo appeared to be beyond the yellow marker on your screen. And I mentioned the fact that so many Utah folks, they do have a heavy alumni crowd down here in the Valley of the Sun, in the Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale area. And of course, Salt Lake's about 6 hours to Vegas, and then another 6 hours down here, and you can see just a sea of red. There are pockets of Pittsburgh fans here tonight, but Walt Harris and his coaches, they're pretending those are Stanford red colors. It is now first down and 10. And off the play fake, the left-hander. Again, can't get anybody open. Trying to reach out.
That's the one thing Walt Harris told us, is that Tyler Palco is a very good runner. Very fast, very quick, and very smart with the football when he does run. He said we did not have a lot of depth behind him, so I didn't call a lot of option plays for him and running plays. But look, nothing there. Play action pass. When he goes, he knows to go wide, go for the sideline, and stay in the football game by getting to that friendly sideline.
Now Palco back in the pocket, gets chased off to the left and bounces one. Del Sardo was very well covered. Well, of course, there's been a lot of criticism of Pittsburgh at 8-3. They did win the Big East, earning their way here, but a lot of folks said they didn't deserve it. And we asked H.B. Blades, a linebacker, his reaction to all the criticism.
My reaction is games are won on Saturdays. You know, they're not won in the newspaper, they're not won in the media, they're won on Saturdays. So, you know, we block all that stuff out and play football on Saturdays. You know, all that negativity, you know, brings us closer together. So I like when people talk bad about us.
And they have been talking enough bad about him, I'll tell you. Second down and 10 for Palco in the offense. With the split backs, he'll drop the screen off to Furman. Furman is nailed. And number 32, Eric Weddle, the strong safety, up to make the play.
Well, for Pittsburgh to win this football game, let's take a look at what they must do. On defense, you have to tackle. Listen, Utah's going to hit some plays on you. You just can't let them turn them into big one. Pass protect, especially those tackles from the outside. And what I mean by win inside, the two defensive tackles on defense must force three guys to block them, or they do not have a chance with that defense against Utah. We'll watch it.
Third down for the Panthers. He has time, but still can't get an open receiver. Scrambles off to the left. Still waits. Fires for the first down, and it was almost intercepted. He took a chance with Biukas as the target, and Spencer Toon, the linebacker, had dropped back on him.
Shows you what a big pass rush will do for you, even when you don't cover a wide receiver. And Joe Del Sardo, number 4, was wide open on the play. They had a busted coverage, but quarterback Tyler Palco could not find him because those red shirts were in his face.
There's Adam Gressel, their fine punter, and they continue to rotate backs. And this time, Sean Harper is way up on fourth down, and now they will
going for the block.
He just does get it off. They've had about 5 punts blocked this year, and Utah went after that one. There's no penalty thrown by the referee, so they got there almost cleanly, and they did not hit the punter. Take one more look at this, because punting is going to be such a big part of tonight's game.
Right up the middle, untouched. He misses the football. Look at that. Right between 2 Utes. Well, that one like it had eyes.
And that was a low snap. Well fielded by Gressel. Gressel, I am told by several scouts, is going to play a long, long time in the NFL. Right now, he's going to shake off a little nagging hurt in this game, but that was a good save by the Pitt Panther punter.
You're watching the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl on ABC Sports.
Scoreless, and Jack, I saw you down with Gressel. What's the situation?
Yeah, Brent, Adam Gressel, he got run into during that punt. You saw how they were rushed. He got hit in the leg. He's very, very sore. He's trying to walk it off.
Meanwhile, Ganther checks in. The running backs for Utah are interchangeable. And here he comes across midfield, and it is first down on Quinton's first carry of the game, a junior from Richmond, California, picking up 11 yards. And the middle has been a little bit soft, and that is surprising because that's the strength, Gary, of this Pitt Panther defense.
They can't lose the middle. With Karuchis and Dan Stevens, they must hold up inside. 2 senior guys. They've been through the wars. They played Miami, played West Virginia. They played tough teams. They must hold up inside.
One receiver in motion, and Smith keeping it for no more than a gain, as Clint Session, the sophomore from Pompano Beach, Florida, held his ground that time and made the stop.
The most underrated part of the Utah football team, and Brent, we saw him out in practice, that offensive line for Utah is a well-kept secret. You look at Clint Session right there. He played the option play of the quarterback. But those guys up front, Boone and Kemayatu and Dirk Mott, they can blow people off the line. It's very physical up front.
Utah across midfield, facing 2nd and 9. Time hits his underneath man, and for the 3rd time, and Madsen trying to wrap it up and wave it off as Malcolm Postel, who earned that starting spot as the season progressed. He unloaded, the senior from Keyport, New Jersey.
Every defensive coach in the country is looking at a way to slow down this spread offense that has exploded across college football. Here's how you do it. You hit the receivers when they catch the ball. You keep your eyes on the quarterback, and you must be physical with the receivers, and then sooner or later, you got to come and get that quarterback.
3rd down and 9 yards to go. Pittsburgh coming with the linebackers this time, and as the result, Paris Warren there in the middle did not have any backers dropping into coverage, and it's a 1st down. That's 13 more yards for Alex Smith. Well, a reminder that coming Monday, January 10th, 25 men fight for just one woman. America's favorite bachelorette begins her search for love in the Big Apple. The Bachelorette 2-hour premiere is Monday, January 10th at 9/8 Central, only on ABC. The chains have moved to the 35-yard line for a Utah 1st down. Smith couldn't find anybody open, and the runner takes off, and he is to the 26-yard line, close to another 1st down for the Utes.
Let's take a look at what Utah has to do to win this football game. They must get after Palco. We've talked about that. When you run a edge-type offense like Utah runs, the ball's handled in space a lot. You have to limit your miscues, self-enforced errors, and you must, against Pittsburgh, be patient. They're not going to give you the deep ball, so you have to take what's there, throw it short, be prepared to run the ball, and make 1st downs instead of touchdowns early in this football game.
2nd and 1. So if they want to take a shot at the end zone, they spread the field here. They can always come back, pick up their 1st down, and here comes that reverse motion. The double reverse this time with Paris Warren. And he is inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal for Utah. There is that flashy motion. We've been telling you, just when you think it's going to be a reverse, they'll bring a double reverse at you. And it's 18 yards.
One of the things that Urban Meyer said his goal was when he went to Bowling Green and started to create this offense and brought it to Utah, and we know he's going to take it to Florida, was to attack with all 5 of his eligible players. He says, we want to give that defense the thought and the feeling and the fear that every play, any one of the 5 guys could get the ball anywhere on the field.
Phenomenal red zone touchdown percentage. Smith stumbles to the 4-yard line with the linesman will mark it right there. And tripping him up was Josh Lay, the junior from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania.
Kind of thought Alex Smith misread that play a little bit and could have dipped inside for the touchdown. He fakes it in here. Then as the quarterback bellies, look if he couldn't have turned right in here. Comes in, cuts back. He had the cutback right there. I thought either for a touchdown, got tripped up and forced a 2nd down and 4.
You see John Madsen out blocking in front of him that time. 4 wides. Even inside the 10-yard line. Urban Meyer prefers this shotgun wide open look down here. Touchdown, Utah, Quinton Ganther. Well, it took about 12 minutes, but Utah finally is on the board. David Carroll, youngster who took over the kicking duties because of an injury, nails the extra point. The freshman from Bountiful, Utah, makes it 7-0 as you take another look here at Ganther. It was jammed in the middle. He just took off and made something out of nothing. Very happy that their Utes strike first here in this Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, and they lead Pittsburgh by a touchdown. Now Urban Meyer's kickoff team, again camouflaging where they're going to come from. Fielded on the 11-yard line by Furman. Furman jumps a defender and fumbled out of bounds at the 25-yard line. We check in with Jack Arute and a big fella from Pitt.
Yeah, and in many cases, many people thought or had hoped that you'd be on the sidelines in a Pitt Panther uniform. But Larry, you play for the Arizona Cardinals. What do you think of the performance of your school right now?
Oh, I'm so proud of the guys, man. They played so hard this year. I've been able to watch a few of their games, and my former roommate Tyler, he's just playing outstanding.
What about the play of Tyler Palko? He has really matured.
Well, Tyler, I knew he was always going to be great. The preparation that he puts in every week in the film room and in the practice field, really breeds success for him.
Brent?
We'll come right back to you, Jack. Just hang on to him. And first down and 10. Palko extends to Murphy. Murphy jumps a defender and picked up 8 yards on that carry. Let's go back to Jack and Larry.
Larry, you have firsthand experience. The biggest difference between the defenses in college and the defense that you face every Sunday. In fact, you'll face Sunday tomorrow against Tampa Bay.
Speed, speed, speed. Speed kills up here. Everybody can run, and everybody's in the right place. And they're the greatest athletes on the earth.
Now, I know Coach is telling you got to be in by halftime, so thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, no, it's always a pleasure, Jack.
Thanks.
All right, Jack, thank you very much. And Larry Fitzgerald, one of the classiest of young men. We certainly wish him well in the NFL. On a cutback run, Murphy, can he get to the first down? He is denied. Just a little short of it. We'd like to thank our friends at Tostitos for providing us with today's aerial coverage high above Sun Devil Stadium here in Tempe, Arizona. Earlier in the week, they were forecasting perhaps scattered showers, but it has been absolutely gorgeous down here today. Just a perfect day for a football game.
In fact, we went to practice against Pittsburgh practice, and it was a monsoon that Tyler Palko threw the ball brilliantly in.
Third down. Palko sneaks against this Utah defense, and of course the Utah defense is a story, as Kyle Whittingham, the defensive coordinator tonight, he really is the next head coach at Utah. He has been hired, and he had one of the toughest decisions of his life to make. His alma mater, BYU, came after him to become the next head coach there. He told us for a couple days it was not at all easy. But he inherits this Utah program, and you can see he joined the staff. His father, a very highly respected defensive coach, Dick Vermeil, always said that Kyle Whittingham would be an outstanding football coach just like his father. And it is 1st down and 10 for Pittsburgh. There's the reach, and here comes Murphy. Not getting much as he is jammed at the line of scrimmage. Corey Dodds, the senior from Salt Lake Hillcrest High School, along with Fenene, the senior from Pago Pago, American Samoa.
You can almost see what Walt Harris is thinking here as he calls these plays early in this football game. His strategy is twofold. He has to keep that Utah offense off the field, and he has to slow down that pass rush to be able to throw the ball later in the game. So on early downs, he needs a running game to be able to attack later in the game and get some offense.
Final 30 seconds here on 2nd down and long. Quarterback draw. Palco steps back, and he cannot escape as Fafita, the junior from Huntington Beach, California, grabbed a hold of him and said, "Not this time, Tyler."
One of three different defensive linemen for Utah that bench press over 450 pounds, and they move. Fafita has scored a touchdown this year as a running back against BYU. They move, they run, and they are very low leverage football players.
End of the 1st quarter. They were expecting a high-scoring, high-flying football game. But instead, it's been a bit of a defensive struggle. But favored Utah leads the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl by 7.
ABC Sports coverage of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl continues.
Well, Tyler Palco is 4 of 7 so far, but he has only found Greg Lee one time in the 1st quarter. And Gary, I guess the underrated part of Utah would be their defensive unit.
Oh, there's no doubt. Last year against Southern Mississippi in their Liberty Bowl, they had 5 sacks and 10 tackles for losses. They can come and get you. The receivers, Greg Lee can get open. It's can the ball get to Greg Lee? That's the problem.
Here is 3rd down. Tyler is forced to run. Can he get it? Dives, and he is short of the 1st down.
And you know, one of the things that Kyle Whittingham learned probably from his dad, or Bud Carson, he said he learned things from, or the late Fritz Shermer, is you go get the quarterback, and you do it by bringing corners from the outside right there. You can see a corner blitz. Safety's going to run out of the screen, nobody to throw to, and all of a sudden the quarterback gets, instead of feeling comfortable in the pocket, has to run.
Now let's see what Gressel is back. Remember, he was nicked a little bit on that near block. Very strong punter. Weddle driven back inside the 10-yard line. And there's a penalty flag, an illegal block.
Actually, there's 2 of them. There was one on the punt, and then there was one late on the return.
So we will see if this Pac-10 crew offsets this or what the situation is here. Gordon Reese is our referee in his final game. This is retiring one of 4 members of this crew working together here tonight.
I think they held Grady Marshall. And you know, Brent, one thing I've noticed so far in this football game is Pitt's snap from center to the punter does not have a lot of velocity on it. It looks very, it's got like a loop to it. It doesn't have a lot of poop to it. Look at that. That's another one right to the ground. And you see Grady Marshall got held on that one. He is the guy that is the bandit on punts. He can line up anywhere, and he can block a punt from anywhere. He's a special team phenom who Urban Meyer says might be our MVP. How about that?
Walt Harris, who has taken Pittsburgh to 5 consecutive bowls. This their first trip to the BCS, basically forced out at Pittsburgh, became a somewhat polarizing, unpopular figure, despite the fact that he really has done a fine job with the Panther program. They have decided to move on, and Walt will move on himself out to the West Coast and coach the Stanford Cardinal. Very cerebral.
Yep.
Was offensive coordinator at Ohio State with John Cooper. Has worked in the NFL. Features the West Coast offense. Very calm on the sideline, as you have seen. Looks very scholarly down there.
And for two lame duck coaches, I don't know if I've seen many this year that are more involved in all aspects of the game than Urban Meyer and Walt Harris. Both are hands-on coaches, and I think it's going to be a real nice fit for Walt at Stanford.
Now Urban Meyer has a decision to make as they offset, and they will punt it again. And Waddle is standing at the 24-yard line, but Urban might offer a changeup if he wants.
Go for it again.
There's a penalty flag also as Gressel drills it. And this one will roll dead about the 12-yard line, but the penalty flag was thrown by the line judge immediately.
And this one was thrown right at the snap, so you wonder if someone was lined up in the neutral zone or an illegal formation.
You know, I talked to the officials, those of you who watched Big Ten football this year. And,
offside defense.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's a 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down, Utah.
Big penalty,
Absolutely.
which gives Palco and the Panthers that first down. But the instant replay, which was so successful in the Big Ten, and the Pac-10, of course, could become one of those conferences that might consider it in games that are covered on television. I know the ACC and the SEC both sent folks on into the Chicago offices of the Big Ten commissioner to check it out on Saturday, and it was a very successful process. So here is Urban Meyer, hit lotto in Florida, cashed his Florida lottery ticket, if you will, $2 million a year. He became the apple of several schools' eyes because of the success, not just at Utah, but also back at Bowling Green. And he has led the Utes all the way to a big money bowl, and now on a 1st and 10. Palco fires, and his receiver juggled, incomplete. And he went for the big man, Greg Lee, the sophomore from Tampa. And for just a moment, you thought he might come up with it.
Here's Greg Lee on one side of the thing. You can see it. Ball's up in the air, and Lee has been coming down with these. That one hit him in the face. But watch Palco on this. The safety thinks he's going to throw the other way. That was Tyler Palco moving the safety, throwing it to the opposite side of the field. That's when you're learning as a quarterback. When you can move the safety like that and have one-on-one on the other side of the field, you're doing your job.
We're going to timeout. Palco calls the timeout. He wants to talk to Coach Harris, so we'll take a break. Well, here's exactly what Gary Danielson was talking about. Watch Palco run the safety off, just like he told the little fake, and now he's got one-on-one.
What I also liked is the way he reset his feet, Brent. He just didn't look one way and have dead feet. That is coaching, to look, pump, and then reset your feet, and that's why he was accurate.
So here he is now with a 2nd and 10, trailing by 7. Here's the blitz on him. Fires middle, diving reception at the 35-yard line for the 1st and 10. And Greg Lee picks up 16 yards on this play.
It's nothing tougher than Greg Lee catches this one. That's a beautiful, wow, look at that confusion right there on the, it was a safety blitz, and Lee gets it. But look at that, crossing the linebackers, and then Scally, number 25, comes right at the gut, and Pittsburgh handles that blitz.
Utah is chasing Lee with a freshman corner. Number 29, Ryan Smith, is going after Lee, and Palco comes back the other way this time, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. But let me tell you, there's a young corner out there from Diamond Bar, California, number 29, who has got some big task here tonight.
Yeah, and the Utah people, though, believe so much in Ryan Smith. They say he's an extraordinary athlete, extraordinary instincts, so much so that they've moved their great corner a year ago, Eric Weddle, to safety to get him in the football game.
There's that matchup up toward the top of your screen as Lee comes out. He's off to the right. Palco on 2nd down, fires to Del Sardo coming across, a little bit short of a first down. Well, now it's time for this week's Aflac trivia question. We've seen one shovel pass tonight, and which of these schools, though, is credited with really unveiling and developing the shovel pass? Who was the quarterback? I know that well, we'll talk about it. We gave you the answer. I almost gave you too big a hint.
Watch this throw by Palco here again. Fafita, number 94, is right in his face. Throws with no feet on the ground, just flicks it out there.
3rd down and 3 for Palco and the Panthers. Palco trying to get a feel, and it's caught, and let's see where the spot is. It looks to be right at that 1st down marker.
Well, that's a great catch by Greg Lee because he got hit and bent just as he caught that play. Greg Lee has emerged. You know, he was not counted on this year. For everyone expected, and Pittsburgh expected Larry Fitzgerald to come back. It was a freak that he could actually leave. As you can see, the
So
ball
Tyler
came there.
Palco, Gary, with that completion, look how he's moving up. Look who he just passed.
Not a bad guy, huh?
Dan Marino, and now he set sail on a couple of those seasons that Alex Van Pelt had with Rod Rutherford, who was Fitzgerald's passer last year. Play fake now by Palco. Not going to get it off. Down at the 29-yard line with Weddle, the strong safety, coming again, number 32.
No mystery, no safety, nobody back there. Utah's 2 corners are on islands by themselves, covering all over the field. Smith, as you can see, Weddle comes inside. He's got the big tackle. He goes right by Petiti to get inside and get the sack on the play.
Remember what I told you at the top of the broadcast. Petiti battling the flu today, and the coach is very concerned about him. 2nd down and long. Palco in trouble again. The pocket did not hold up as Marquez Ledbetter, the junior from Louisville, Mississippi, rolled in for the sack, and that's a loss of 12.
Tyler kind of ran into that sack that time. His tackle was pushing his guy wide. He got out of the pocket a bit too soon. Might have been able to step forward instead of kind of run into the sack, and Ledbetter ran right into it. Coming from his blind side, you can see him come, and as he steps to the outside, gets pushed right into the sack.
3rd down and 24. Three down linemen for Coach Whittingham as the play clock was expiring. Palco forced to take off, and he is down at the 30-yard line where it will be 4th down. And let's see what Coach Harris elects to attempt here.
Did a good job of getting back into field goal range to at least give a shot at a 3-point play here. Another corner blitz from Utah that time. Kyle Whittingham believes in putting pressure on that quarterback, I'll tell you.
So here's Josh Cummings, who won 3 games for the Panthers this year. And this will be a 48-yarder for the junior, the JC transfer from California. He was hitting him from this spot in practice. But this one's blocked. The special team advantage continues for Utah. It has been one of the big differences in this game so far.
Look how well schooled Utah was as Burnett, number 48, jumps and leaps and gets that one. They knew once it was blocked to stay away from the ball, and they did. The leap in the middle, gets it at the top of the leap right there, and Utah backs away. Great coaching.
Burnett should go out for the basketball team. What a vertical leap.
The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, this ABC Sports exclusive presentation brought to you by Tostitos. Stay tuned for the Tostitos Family Connection halftime show, where a soldier from Iraq will be reunited with his family. Russell Athletic, who has proudly outfitted 34 national championship football teams. Are you Russell material? And Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns.
Urban Meyer, hands-on with the special teams, 5 blocked punts, and that's his 2nd blocked field goal this season. And it preserves that 7-point lead right now. Urban over on the far side. First down and 10. Alex Smith on that keeper. Rides the belly like the option look, and now it's time for the Dodge defensive playbook.
Well, it's been 3 sacks by this Utah defense, and they've been coming from all different angles, and sometimes it's just the front 4. This time, the outside guy over here runs right into a sack. You see, turns out a bit early that time and gets it, but when you're facing that pressure all football game, this time it's Ledbetter, next time it's a safety, next time it's a linebacker, they pressure the quarterback.
Second down and 2, and Smith with that inside shovel pass. The subject of our trivia question. Paris Warren picking up the first down. And again, let's take you back now. Which of these two schools is credited with unveiling the shovel pass, really? And who was their quarterback? Lee Grosscup, who once was a #1 draft choice of the New York Giants, then went on to broadcast at ABC Sports, covered games. Our producer, Bobby Goodrich, worked alongside Lee. His coach was Cactus Jack Curtis, who actually brought that play with him, where he had coached earlier up to the Wasatch. And Grosscup really popularized it. And now Urban Meyer taking advantage of it. And down Florida way, Chris Leak, go out there and practice that shovel pass, my friend. Is going to be part of your offense down in Gainesville.
Well, you know, ironically, that was the play that Peyton Manning tied Dan Marino in his 48th touchdown pass was on a shovel pass, and it's a quarterback's best friend.
That was down at Texas Western, where old Cactus Jack, probably a couple of salt shakers, Gary, on the table down there.
Yep,
at
little
Tex-Mex.
napkin offense.
Napkin deal. Let's see what we can do here. Second down. 9 minutes to go in a half, and Alex Smith on that pitch to Johnson, and Pittsburgh jumps that play. The offense is not going up and down the field. Utah with 135 yards after that loss, and Pittsburgh with 103, and Utah, Jack, with the only touchdown. So it hasn't come easy for Alex Smith here tonight from Helix High School.
And when he was at Helix High School, Brent, he was 25-1 as a starter, and it might have helped that he had a pretty good guy in the backfield. Yeah, Reggie Bush was his teammate. He could run and he could catch. In fact, one of the things that Alex said, he said, I didn't pass all that much, so I sent all my passes out in my tape for recruiting.
Third down and 13. I was reminded by a viewer recently, Jack, that there's the completed pass now, put it in Warren's hands. Warren close to the first down. It'll depend on, yeah, he got the spot, didn't he, with that left foot. I was reminded by a viewer that there was another great athlete out of Helix High in La Mesa, California. There he is, folks. Bill Walton. Man, he's put on a few LBs.
Yeah,
huh?
whatever happened to Bill Walton?
Gary Danielson, that is awful.
You know, you just saw what Alex Smith does so well right there. Rode up into the pocket, 3rd and long. You know, is he an option quarterback who can throw, or is he a throwing quarterback who can run the option? He can do both almost equally well, and he's brilliant, people. I mean, this guy knows what he's doing and understands what he's doing.
Has a 1st and 10 just across midfield. Straight back, firing for another first down to the 32-yard line. He puts it in Savoy's hands.
You know, when you talk to Alex Smith and you say, you know, what really broke you wide open? He says, you know, when I understood what the goals of the offense, what we were trying to accomplish, once that clicked in, I was able to read that defense and know what we were trying to accomplish with each play, check to the right play, and attack where I needed to attack with the football. He said, I grew super confident and let my abilities take over.
That flashy offense dominating the Mountain West. First down and 10. Smith is jammed in the middle. And terrific defensive front that time. And a reminder, speaking of Walton and the NBA, next Saturday at 1 Eastern time. The Knicks will play the Cavaliers. LeBron James will be wearing a face mask to protect where he was injured. And the Nuggets will play the Spurs. That's coming up Saturday on ABC. And so Phil Tillman, he picked up that sack, number 91, for Pitt, getting some playing time here with 2nd down and 14. Complete and short of the first down as Josh Lay, the junior from Aliquippa, with coverage on Steve Savoy.
Let me show you the basis of the pass offense in the spread right here. Remember we talked about that option earlier to the slot? What they're doing is run an option in here and bringing the deeper guy behind it. The quarterback says, all right, if you want to double team that option over the middle, then I'm going to bring a guy right there over the top of it, and that's who I hit. So you hit those options from the slot people, and then you drag the wide receivers behind them and get that high-low pass that's been in football since Lee Gross Cup. You throw a guy short, and then you bring the guy around behind him. So you spread people all over the field, but you use the same base patterns that have been used in football for 50 years.
Alex Smith with another 3rd down. The Utes are 2 of 3 on 3rd down so far tonight. Smith to throw for, got Savoy inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Utes.
Well, he beat another freshman on that one, Darrell Revis, who is the phenom for Pittsburgh. But when you have man coverage and no free safety in the middle, you're all alone to the outside, and he lets Savoy get to the inside on this play. One of the cardinal sins you can't do if you're a corner. No help inside, and let the easiest throw possible. Let the receiver come inside for an easy pitch and catch.
The success of that offensive line. Inside the 10-yard line, Smith naked in that backfield. The 5 big fellas give him plenty of time, and he fires for a touchdown to Madsen. John Madsen with the Utes' 2nd touchdown of the night. That offensive line, Kemoyatu, Alona, Dirkma, Tupola, and Boone. Boone, the center, the anchor. And what a job they did as they gave Smith plenty of time on this play to throw to Madsen for the score.
Little option play to the backside. Madsen, who Urban Meyer says is a future NFL player, just schooled the DB.
And Carroll, the freshman, tacks on the extra point.
This Utah offense can move the ball against anyone in college football. There's no doubt in my mind.
And now Pittsburgh badly needs a rally. Utah leads Pittsburgh by 2 touchdowns here at the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Ganther dashing in for the first one. Then that vertical leap and the blocked field goal by Burnett, who has a 36-inch vertical. And the touchdown pass to Madsen. And we stand at 14-0 with the heat on Palco and the Panthers. They drive 69 yards in 4:48. He handled it right at the goal line, and it goes on in the end zone, so it'll come out. Furman.
Yeah, the impetus of the ball drove it through the end zone right there, so they get it to the 20-yard line. See the ball bounce. It's touched right at the 1, but it goes through. He never had control of it, so they get it to the 20-yard line.
Well, a little bit earlier in the proceedings, Urban Meyer was named the winner of the Eddie Robinson Award as the Coach of the Year. That's grandson of Eddie Robinson presented the award to Coach Meyer. And the ground game for Pittsburgh, Murphy carrying the ball into the heart of that Utah defense. So Urban Meyer, his 4th season as head coach. 2 at Utah, 2 with Bowling Green. And then next year he'll move down to the SEC. And you can see that he played a couple of years in the Atlanta Braves organization. Lou Holtz gave him a chance back at Notre Dame as an assistant coach. Sonny Lubick took him under his wing out of Fort Collins and Colorado State. Last time I had a chance to cover one of the games that Urban was coaching, an assistant for Lubick, as Marcus Furman checks in as running back. He's a little bit short of that first down marker. And one of the things about Urban Meyer that we want to show you, because not only Florida came after, but you might recall during that time that Notre Dame also had an opening. And it was generally believed that Urban Meyer, who had always dreamed of coaching in South Bend, would take the job with the Fighting Irish. And we will show you after this play why so many of us believed that he would head in that direction. There's a very good reason. 3rd down and short. Here's the toss for the first down for Furman. Now, Urban Meyer was named after popes. Folks, not one pope, but count them. That's 8. And so you can see why it was assumed that Urban Meyer might go to South Bend and coach the Fighting Irish, but he had already agreed in theory with the Gators, and he will go down there and coach at Gainesville. Here's Murphy back in, replacing Furman. Well, out of bounds, and Jack Arute, Urban's done a great job wherever he's been.
Well, yeah, and he's got some direct connections to Notre Dame, and in fact to this Fiesta Bowl. It's not his first Fiesta. He was on the sidelines as an assistant coach with Bob Davie, who of course now is with our friends at ESPN. Urban was here back when they were beaten by the Beavers of Oregon State, and they were back here in Tempe. Notre Dame, Brent, as you know, playing in the Insight.com Bowl earlier this week.
And same ending, Jack. Oregon State jumped them pretty good. 2nd down. Palco hit on the release. Del Sardo reaching toward the first down marker. He's still in bounds. You can see that they're still winding the clock, and it appeared that the nose is touching that first down marker. But obviously they'll come and measure it here. That's an unofficial yellow line.
Another corner blitz from Kyle Whittingham. Inside, little pressure inside by Fafita again. He has been a monster in this football game. He's smaller but powerful and very quick inside, and has been dominating the line of scrimmage. Let's stay with Urban Meyer a bit more here, Brent.
Just missing the first down by inches. And a reminder to stay tuned to the BCS for special videos by Rock's biggest stars. Lenny Kravitz will kick off our second half with the SBC first half music highlights. He can play a pretty good tune, Gary, for Urban Meyer.
He makes it go. Urban Meyer, kind of ironic, he's going to be the head coach at Florida and still hasn't had his own recruit as a quarterback yet. 2 years, Josh Harris at Bowling Green, and now 2 years of Alex Smith here at Utah, and he inherits a pretty good one, Chris Leak at Florida.
If nothing else, he is the master of good timing. 3rd and inches. That will be an entirely different looking offense than what we saw from the Gators last night. Palco stands in, and he's got Lee for the first down.
Great check.
Just short of midfield.
Great check by Palco that time. Utah believed that they'd throw the fade deep. It was bump and run. The corner was really anxious that he wouldn't get beat. Smith said, I don't want to go deep. I saw one bounce off his face mask. So Palco gave him the fade stop. Watch this. Smith said, I'm not going to get beat this time. Little stop to the outside. And that's the sophistication and simplicity of a Walt Harris offense. You do it right, you do it at the right distance, and you have completions.
Lee's 4th catch of the night for 42 yards, working against the freshman corner. Palco dumps off over the middle of Murphy, the running back. He's crossed the 45, a bit short of the first down marker.
This has been a big drive for Pittsburgh. Started at their own 20. They could not afford a 3 and out and give that Utah that ball back, down 14-0. So they go from the 20, now they got it to the 42, 43-yard line, and Palco has been doing a great job of getting the ball to different people in the offense.
Misfired only 5 times, and Lee dropped what could have been a touchdown pass for him.
If you don't get pressure on him, he's going to complete passes.
Murphy's got the first down. Down to the 36, and of course at halftime, this has been a wild day of college football. So a reminder that when we go out to John and the fellas in Pasadena, you're going to see some great highlights. I know of at least 2 games that ended on the last play. Iowa beating LSU, and Texas with that field goal to beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl. Next Saturday, the wild card doubleheader. Game 1 at 4 Eastern, game 2 at 8 Eastern here on ABC. So the playoffs will start with the wild card doubleheader. First down and 10, and Palco off a fake, firing deep, juggled, incomplete. He threw the double coverage that time, and they took Lee right on into the end zone. Scally and Weddle, Morgan Scally, their outstanding free safety, doubling on Lee that time.
And have a bit of a misread by Tyler that time. Kyle Whittingham, who's been blitzing all game and going man-to-man coverage, kept both safeties deep. A 2-shell, they call it, cover 2 defense, and Palco threw it right up there for a possible interception.
Minute and a half. 14 points on the board here in the first half. Palco's in trouble, tripped down at midfield, and he was tripped up by Fanene, the senior from American Samoa. One of many really talented Polynesian players on this team. That's a loss of 13 yards.
That's the 4th sack in this football game. Fanene gets one this time, coming around the corner, and beautiful. He's held on the play basically. Palco has to bail out, but that front 4 produces a big play on defense.
Utah uses a timeout. They'd like to get the ball back and take one more crack at it.
You're watching the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl on ABC Sports.
Well, these are great views of Sun Devil Stadium being provided by the Tostitos airship. 3rd down and 23 coming up here for the Panthers against a 3-man rush. Palco's forced on the move to the underneath man, and Furman, and of course that'll be well short of the first down marker, so the punting team will come on because of the pressure by Fanene again.
Jonathan Fanene, boy, he's having a game over there at that left defensive end. The big 3, Fanene is one of them, and he just comes every time. You know, Utah does a great job of getting fresh bodies inside, but Fanene has been going every play.
Gressel back to punt again. And
Remember
Waddle back deep now. Eric Weddle.
Snaps have been slow and low.
Beautiful punt down at the 20-yard line. I guess it would have been the same thing if he'd have ripped it on into the end zone. So. Utah's up by 14. Well, Utah with a 14-point lead. 49 seconds left here in the first half. A couple of timeouts. Smith is back at the shotgun. 5 wideouts across the field. In trouble, steps away from it. And he goes out of bounds to stop the clock at 42.
Marked out.
For Tunis.
Guess they weren't going to kill the clock. No I formation, run the ball between the tackles. They go nobody, empty. They have 2 timeouts. They believe their quarterback does not make a lot of mistakes with the football. They trust him, even though he's on his own 20-yard line. And Smith rewards the coaching staff by not making a dumb play when nothing's open.
5 wide again here with 42 seconds. And there the belly play, and coming back is Ganther, who scored their first touchdown in this game. Quinton Ganther, he has carried 4 times for 22 yards. Warren, one of the wideouts, one time for 17 yards, and Smith himself 7 times for 15 yards here.
A little surprised Pittsburgh isn't taking a timeout here. Try to get a stop, and maybe they can block a punt or something. And it looks like both sides are willing to go in with a 14-0 game.
Much lower scoring than was predicted. The experts in those matters had said this one would soar into the 60s, and so far there's no indication of that here tonight. But we still have the second half, and there was a whistle flag prior to the snap.
Before the snap, false start offense, number 6. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's Steve Savoy, the wide receiver from Washington, D.C.
He jumped the gun, Brent. He was going to run the 100-yard dash bomb, and he
back on the game clock.
Beat the starter's pistol on that one. The false start on Savoy. Because they were going deep to Savoy on that one. He tried to go deep. That'll be the half once they roll the clock here.
And that'll do it. So unbeaten Utah under Urban Meyer as their coach for the last time. Up by 14. We check in with Jack with Walt Harris.
Well, Coach, he had some scoring opportunities, but there's still that goose egg.
Yeah, what happened, we dropped a pass that would have put us inside the 10, or we might have probably scored. And we're having trouble with pass protection. We got to shore that up in the second half, and we got to cover their receivers better.
Good luck, Coach.
Thanks.
Still a long time to go. A lot of time in these big bowl games because of the length of halftime. You think you're looking at 2 football games, so we shall see.
The Pontiac High Performance Halftime Show, brought to you by Pontiac and the game-changing performance of the year. Today is your last chance to vote at ESPN.com/Pontiac. The second half kicks off with a special video from Lenny Kravitz after this from our ABC stations. You're watching the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl on ABC Sports. Welcome to the SBC First Half Music Highlights featuring Lenny Kravitz.
About ready to start the second half of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, and Utah unbeaten and leading Pittsburgh, the champions of the Big East, by 2 touchdowns at 14. I think Pittsburgh did have a chance to score a touchdown. Greg Lee just couldn't quite pull that touchdown pass in. And while we were away, Gary said to me, heat's on Pittsburgh. They've got to score right now or this could get ugly.
Yeah, and that's how Utah rolls people up. They get a lead, and then when you try to play catch-up against their blitzing defense, you turn the ball over and bam, that offense just explodes on you. So Pittsburgh has to stay calm. It's still a lot of plays left in the game, but you're right. When you have a chance to score against a blitzing team like Pittsburgh did, you have to make the play. You know, no matter, back when we were playing Buddy Ryan's defense with the Bears, it was the same formula. They make you look bad for a long time, but if you have a chance, you got to put points on the board.
Well, Jackaroo, Urban Meyer is 1/2 away from Gainesville. Is he happy with Utah here?
No, Brent, he's not a happy camper at all. In fact, he really got up in the grill of his team, talking about only a dozen possessions on offense and complaining that it was penalties that killed several key drives for the Utah Utes. He said defense is playing well. He said we've got to do better. And then he also mentioned, I want to see us play even better in special teams.
The Nokia game summary. First half statistic. Not much rushing, of course. Sometimes you don't get that from the wide open passing attack of Utah. Total yards are pretty even. Something not reflected in the stats, the special teams performance overall. And as Mike Tangisi, the fine commissioner of the Big East, was telling us over a cup of coffee early this morning, that he felt that might be the big difference in this football game.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of good athletes at Utah. You know, I came into this game thinking a lot about Utah, feeling that they could play with anybody, all these big schools. And when you watch them, they're exactly what you see on film. They got speed at a lot of different positions, and they make a lot of big plays with their special teams and defense.
So Utah, deferring after winning the flip, will have the first possession here of the second half. Gressel puts it into the end zone. Nagahi brings it out to the 20-yard line where he's down. And Utah's offense averaging 46 points a game. And this the fewest first half points this season. Down the road in Tucson, which was their toughest game on September 11th, they scored 17. Now the Pitt coaches have looked time after time at that Arizona Wildcat tape to see what Mike Stoops did against this flashy defense. Shut it down pretty good in the second half. And the pressure is on here as we start the second half.
Pretty mirror image of that defense too. Play deep, keep everything in front of you.
Start off with a running play with Marty Johnson, the senior from Sacramento, and H.B. Blades makes the stop, and now it's the Home Depot coaching adjustments.
Well, if you look at both teams, I think if you're Pittsburgh, you got to figure a way, since you can't pass protect, is to get their quarterback Tyler Palko out of the pocket, because he is having a good football game. And if you're Utah, I got to go to my corners and say, you got to be ready. They're going to try to hit a deep one on us. If you can keep them from hitting a deep ball, we will win this football game.
Palko and Coach Harris ready for their first possession. Ball spotted at the 22-yard line with a 2nd and 7 for Alex Smith. Utah's first Heisman Trophy finalist drops it off to the middle. Well-placed football into traffic, and Paris Warren, the senior from Sacramento, comes up with it.
Let's take a little look at Alex Smith and why he is such a good football player. I'll tell you, the guy has got the smarts, and not just book smarts, he's got football smarts. He has not missed a play this year. He's run the option and thrown the ball all year, and we've seen it. Accuracy is the name of the game for him. 13 for 16 so far in this football game. He continues to do what he always does. Smart decisions and put the ball where it has to be put.
And again, we expect him to declare for the NFL draft, even though he could go back to Utah for one final season. And with a beautiful ball fake, he is very, very close to another first down. His uncle, John L. Smith, is the coach at Michigan State. And at one time, Alex, out of Helix High down San Diego way, wanted to go to Louisville. But his uncle, he just said, I don't know if I'm going to stay there that long. So Alex then wandered up to the Wasatch and went to school in Salt Lake, and the Utes have lived happily ever after.
Yeah,
it's been a perfect fit.
Utah felt so little about him early in Urban Meyer's career that they recruited a junior college quarterback. They didn't think he'd be the guy.
First down on the dive by Alex. And let's go to Jack.
When you talk about John L., his father Doug is a former football coach and principal at California's Helix High. And the two of them, when he was just a little tight, thought that he really wasn't going to grow up to be a quarterback. In fact, they nicknamed him Axe Handle because he was so tall and lanky and had such big feet. He'd trip over himself. And both his dad and his uncle suggested maybe he go out and run some cross country. Kind of grew into those feet, though, Brent.
First and 10. Strike.
Good throw. Boy.
For 9 yards. And here's Alex talking about not going to Louisville under his uncle.
Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, was recruiting me, and he had left that year to go up to the Minnesota Vikings, you know, and that was one thing. And then obviously the major thing, my uncle telling me he wasn't sure he was going to be there for 4 years. You know, and Utah was a great fit.
And indeed it was. And it's second down and short. And Madsen making the catch on that far side. Madsen 4 catches for 27 yards. Warren now 7 catches for 83 yards, the leading Utah receiver. Smith off a fake. Fires sideline. Complete. And here is Paris Warren again. 28 yards.
I'll tell you, Alex Smith, now watch this brilliant throw. It's the wheel route up the corner, and this ball is thrown behind the receiver on purpose. Watch this. The wheel route, and you throw it to the back shoulder. It is taught that way. Paris Warren gets down there, catches the ball, gets, I think it's gets in there. Revis makes the tackle on the play, but what a beautiful throw, a well-placed ball again by the quarterback.
Option look, inside shovel pass. Johnson breaks free. Touchdown Utah. They strike with the first possession of the second half, and an 18-yard score for Marty Johnson on the shovel pass reception thrown by Alex Smith. So Alex Smith now with a couple of touchdown passes here tonight. This is a forward pass.
Watch the lineman get downfield. This play is not allowed in the NFL. The offensive lineman in college ball can be downfield if the pass is thrown behind the line of scrimmage. It works and taken advantage in this offense.
And the freshman David Carroll tacks on the extra point.
You see it, once you get that ball to that running back, it doesn't matter if that guard's 5 yards downfield, you can pitch it late. This time to Marty Johnson, called play. You get big Fafita downfield, Fanei downfield, and they get him.
Yeah, for the most part, this has been a very laid-back, pro-Utah crowd, and folks, there is a story involving the fans. These fans wish they could have gotten their hands on an Auburn, an Oklahoma, or a USC. They do not feel fulfilled in any way playing Pittsburgh. And during that commercial break, they were starting to chant, overrated, overrated. Kick is fielded by Furman, and he is down at the 16-yard line. Vice for passing playbook.
A very simple play, run from the spread. Everybody has it. Curl route right here. You got a linebacker on a wide receiver, comes up the sideline on there, crisscross, wide receiver comes in, Warren goes outside, ball's thrown to the outside because actually it's covered pretty well by Postel that time. But if you can place the ball in the right spot, that passing game will work against anything.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question right after this snap with Palco in the shotgun regarding this Utah defense. Here's the long handoff to Murphy. Brought down. Now the Utah defense, of course, has dominated Pittsburgh when they've had to in this game. Would this Utah defense, in your opinion, and let me ask you about the Big Ten, because we saw Michigan, we saw Ohio State in these teams, would they hold up against the best of the Big Ten?
Yes, they would. They wouldn't maybe win every game in the Big Ten, but it's very difficult to do that in any conference, win every game. But I've seen them play Michigan at Michigan with a defense like this. We saw them a couple years ago play USC and sack Carson Palmer 8 times. This is a for real defense.
Second down and 7 for Palco. Drop it off now to Murphy, short of the first down marker, so it's another third down coming up. Dodds, the senior from Salt Lake Hillcrest High School.
They run very well, Brent. Their linebackers are cover a lot of space, run very well, and their secondary people are very bright.
Would their offense move the ball against perhaps a team like Auburn that might have more team speed? I'm not trying to put down the Panthers.
I think they would. Yes, I do. If I watch Northwestern dominate the Big Ten with the spread offense, and I think this offense is more skilled than anything I saw at Northwestern.
Third down and 3. And Palco in trouble. He's going to be sacked.
He's
inside the 15-yard line. But Fafita.
Great game by Fafita.
So Fafita comes in, the junior from Huntington Beach, California, the nose guard, and he's been a man down there. Gary, he's going to play on Sunday.
Absolutely. He's 6 foot. That's what he's listed at least. That might be wrong, but you know what's more important? He's over 300 pounds. He bench presses over 460 pounds. And we will see him maybe get the opportunity to run the ball later because he's already done it once at tailback to score a touchdown.
on 4th down. Gressel. Penalty flag has been thrown again. Fielded by Weddle. Tee short of midfield, but there was a penalty flag thrown back by the linesman at the line of scrimmage.
By number 58, Joe Clermont. 45-yard punt. 9-yard return.
Yeah, they'll decline that. They got too good a field position. Yes. Hey, way to go, Urban. Pope Urban.
Illegal formation, offense. That penalty is declined.
There's the big guy. Let's see what he did against BYU.
Let's take a look at the big fella.
Gets the ball deep.
Bangs
Busted
off
outside.
one. There's 2. Touchdown. The Utes.
The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive presentation brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. The next Ford F-150, built Ford tough. FedEx, proud sponsor of the BCS. Go air, go ground, go football. And Citibank. Thank you from Citi, a new kind of rewards program from a card you can count on.
Utah leading by 21 with the ball close to midfield. Alex Smith, number 11, brings him out. Johnson is right there to his left. You can see Savoy out to the right. Johnson steps over to the right-hand side. And they hand to the running back into the middle. Now, we've talked about Urban Meyer, and we asked him why he stayed to coach in this bowl game.
As long as I was wanted back here, this is the right thing to do. And, you know, we talked to our players about finishing the job in our senior class, regardless of the score, regardless of the time of the year, regardless of what's happening, that you finish your job. And my job is to coach this football team through the bowl game.
And, of course, he hands it off to Kyle Whittingham, the defensive coordinator. And now Alex Smith is back. Throws deep, incomplete. So he was trying to probe with the deep game to John Madsen, who's been active here tonight, and Gilliard, the senior strong safety from Princeton, West Virginia, back with the coverage.
And you saw the philosophy of Urban Meyer with this spread offense. He said, he told me, if you blitz, we try to score. We don't try to make first downs. We try to score. That's exactly what happened that time. Get a guy coming in on a blitz, throws it up, and lets it go. Got hit and kind of got those rib protectors on. Let's say kind of flexed his right underneath that armpit area right there.
3rd down. Smith, he can run for the first down. And he steps right across. It's 1st and 10. So with Utah leading now 21-0 in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. With Gary Danielson, Jack Arute, I'm Brett Musburger. Gary, let me ask you this now. Let's continue on the subject of Utah, but let's change to this offense and Florida. Can you run the wide open spread offense week in and week out against the SEC like he's doing here tonight in Tempe?
I think it's going to be more of a challenge in the SEC, and I'll tell you why. They have more speed at linebacker than he's been facing here, and the quarterback will take more hits. I don't know if a quarterback can last 11 games in the SEC doing what Alex Smith is doing in this conference. That'll be the big challenge for Chris Leak. When he runs this offense, to really make it go, you must run your quarterback. That's the key to this offense, running the quarterback. We saw Drew Stanton try to do it with John L. Smith at Michigan State. He got busted up all year. Can he keep his quarterback healthy?
Ganther, the ball carrier. 2nd down and 4. Battling for a first down, and he has got it. Well, you know, it's the other coach, Walt Harris, is going to Stanford, and we asked him why he chose to coach Pittsburgh in a bowl game.
I wanted to coach. I wanted to finish. You know, I always talk to him about finishing. Would be finishing a play, finishing a sprint. whatever you do, you got to finish. And so I'd be going against one of my basic principles of how to live my life if I didn't finish.
So this is his last game. He'll go to Stanford. Dave Wanstead will replace him. One-time coach of the Chicago Bears. The Miami Dolphins, returns to his alma mater. And we have Dave on the telephone with us now, live here from Miami. His pass is deflected but complete. Savoy, and he is down to the 22. Dave, Happy New Year from Gary and me and Jack here in Tempe.
Same to you, Brent, and Gary. It's good to be on with you guys.
Hi, Dave.
And so, Dave, tell me, you had turned it down, at least the note that I had read. What changed your mind? Why did you decide to go back and coach your alma mater?
Well, it really wasn't the circumstances of turning it down. It really, at the time that I talked with Jeff Long, the athletic director, it really was a situation where I really wasn't ready to make a decision on anything within their time frame. And after a week or so had passed, and they had talked to some candidates, and Jeff and I had another conversation. At that time, I had made up my mind that I was going to coach again. And so after we talked, we decided, hey, let's take the next step on this and see where it goes.
Well, we'll watch this play, and then Gary's got a question for you here. Coach Alex Smith, the Utah quarterback, now with a second down. Firing, Warren going for the end zone. Touchdown. 23 more yards. And an extra point away from 28-0.
Yeah, Coach, would you have blitzed on that one? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just watching the game right now, just like you guys are.
Exactly.
It's a difficult situation here. I mean, Utah is an awful good
sure is.
Offense, as we all know, and Pitt really. I mean, Walt Harris has done a fantastic job, and these players have really exceeded, I think, what anybody expected them to do this year. They're a young football team with an awful lot of room to improve, and they should. I mean, they're competing the best they can, but they've accomplished an awful lot, a lot more than what people thought they would do this year.
Dave, can you stick with us through this commercial break?
Sure.
That's great. Love to chat with you a little bit more. Dave Wanstead will be the next coach at Pittsburgh, and we'll take a timeout. There's a fan who can't wait for Dave Wanstead to get up to Pittsburgh. Coach, I know you're well aware you opened with Notre Dame and your old buddy Charlie Weiss. My goodness, that'll be like the Patriots and the Dolphins, huh?
Yeah, it will be. That will be a great opener for both schools, and I'm glad it's in Pittsburgh. It'll be it'll raise that excitement. When you have an opener like that, it really does something for your off-season program and all through training camp.
Hey, Dave, you've got experience as a head coach, but it's all in the NFL. What would be, you think, your toughest transition going to the college football as a head coach?
Well, I think number one is going to be managing the time, Gary. The recruiting part, being from Pittsburgh and coaching there for, and winning a national championship there. I mean, I'm very comfortable with the recruiting part of it and selling the university and the city because I believe in it so much. The biggest change is going to be, and I've talked to Pete Carroll and I've talked to Chan Gailey, a lot of NFL coaches who have made the transition, is really the amount of time, as you can appreciate, or I should say the short amount of time that you have with the college players as compared to what we had in the NFL. That's going to be the biggest thing of just managing the time with the players.
Yeah, Dave, we want to thank you again. Wish you a happy new year. Tyler Palko, I know he's one of those players who looks forward to next season, too. You got a fine young quarterback. So good luck, and we'll see you next fall.
Look forward to it, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, Dave Wanstead, the new head coach of the Pitt Panthers, following this game. He'll travel up to Pittsburgh tomorrow and conclude the recruiting for the team. And Palco now with a 2nd and 3 and 5:45 to go. Utah, favored by 16, leads it 28-0. And Furman for a first down across midfield. Well, she can be anyone. Now she gets to be herself. Golden Globe nominee Jennifer Garner stars in a new season of Alias. The 2-hour premiere event begins Wednesday at 9, 8 Central, only on ABC.
The Utah machine is rolling in this second half. You don't score on this team, you don't get first down, they come back and haunt you real quick.
Middle, deflected, incomplete. And once that ball's deflected, the receiver is fair game. One of the things that I note about this Utah team is how good these coaches are, how fundamentally sound this football team is, and Urban Meyer stressing the special teams, and that has been a huge advantage for him in this game. And even though I didn't follow the Mountain West carefully this year, I dare say that was probably a big edge for him throughout the regular season campaign. Kyle Whittingham takes over next year as the head coach. He's fundamentally sound. As you watch this defense, like that deflection right there, and bang, the wide receiver is all hit by the defensive back who knew the rule. Palco gonna lob one deep and incomplete. Looking for Del Sardo. Well, here's a look at the Ford road ahead to the Orange Bowl. The electric Reggie Bush, a big play guy. That's total yards, including kick returns. Adrian Peterson, who turned the show completely around, giving the Sooners a running game this year. And so what a Donnybrook that figures to be on Tuesday night at the FedEx Orange Bowl, the battle of the unbeatens. And of course, don't forget that on Monday night, the Nokia Sugar Bowl, Auburn, also unbeaten, will play Virginia Tech. Palco fires complete for a first down to the 30-yard line. Del Sardo picks up 19 yards and the first down that time. Gary, a question now relating to the, well, cover this first.
Watch this, Brent. Same route that Utah used. You come out of the backfield, run the option, and you run the guy behind. There's different ways of running the same play. Halfback runs the option. You get a clamp, you run the person behind him, the wide receiver, you run the play. We showed one from the spread and one from two back. Same play.
Palco. Fake from the eye, wants Lee in the corner. Penalty flag. They are going to call touchdown.
They were going to call interference,
yes,
then
they
a
were.
touchdown.
He threw the flag, and then the touchdown call of 31 yards. And the Panthers are on the board.
That was a Larry Fitzgerald catch right there. That ball came down right down the chimney. Good coverage this time. Ryan Smith. Ball comes to the outside shoulder. Watch him look right over his helmet, just like Larry Fitzgerald, and look at that catch. That's as good as you can do it.
Smith was there. Scally was coming over and up against double coverage. So how about the fact that he drops one? Much easier to handle one-on-one in the first half. Comes back and makes the tough catch now for Pittsburgh's first touchdown, and Josh Cummings will attempt to tack on the extra point.
Keeps the game alive too. They needed that one badly.
And one thing that we will remind everybody about Tyler Palco. Tyler Palco is some kind of a fighter. Just when you think
you can see it one-on-one right there. Comes outside with the stem. Palco puts it very high. Adjustment to the ball, and he catches it over the outside shoulder.
And Gary, you mentioned Fitzgerald, and a year ago we were down at College Station against Texas A&M. We'll never forget this reception. Well, Greg Lee just made one almost identical. Well, the devastating events that took place in Indonesia last weekend have affected all of us. And on the screen is the number and website to contact in order to help the American Red Cross in their effort to assist. It's 1-800-HELP-NOW. Remember that 1-800-HELP-NOW, or go to www.redcross.org to give a financial contribution. And when you dial that 800 number, they are so busy that you might not be able to get to an operator. But if you follow their instructions, they will lead you through it. And you can give them a credit card number and make a donation, and anything is appreciated. Americans have opened up their heart and wallets across this country for that devastating event down there. The kickoff is being brought out by Justin Walker. Justin breaks daylight. Penalty flag has been thrown. And now another penalty flag is thrown. The referee moved up to the 25 and fired a second one.
Ran right through the stop sign on that one too. The ball was kicked very deep, and Justin Walker said, I don't care if I get a stop sign or not, I want to score. appeared that both calls were against Utah.
Personal foul, that second one.
Yep. Watch Walker get this ball very deep, 9 yards. There's the stop sign right there. Stay in, stay in. Exactly, that would have been the smart play on this one since there were 2 penalties. Uh-oh, he's coming out. He runs right by his blocker. Savoy couldn't get up his speed, and all of a sudden, Walker looks like he makes a brilliant play, and it turns into 2 penalties.
Illegal block in the back by the receiving team during the run back. Number 51, that's a 10-yard penalty. Dead ball, personal foul, offense, number 51. That ball will go half the distance to the goal. First down, Utah.
Well, that's as bad as you can get. 2 penalties on one play.
That certainly negates the 42-yard kickoff return by Walker. And the ball is being brought back inside the 10-yard line for Alex Smith and the Utah offense.
The only problem with Utah is they don't much care where they get the ball.
See Latondras, he's been quiet, number 88. Travis Latondras, wide receiver, he's a senior from El Dorado Hills, California, breaks the huddle. Ganther, the running back off to Smith's left. Warren, shovel pass. And he is tackled short of the 10-yard line. Let's take a look at their starting position and the result here.
Showed you they don't care much where they get the ball. 40% of the time when they start 20 or less, they score. 50% just keeps getting better. 57 and 100% of the time when they get it inside the 20. A scoring machine from wherever they get the ball. Of course, Mike Sanford, their offensive coordinator, as Brent told you, has moved on to UNLV to be their head coach. And Danny Mullen right now is the guy in charge and calling all the plays.
And Mike took a couple of other assistants with him down to the Vegas job. Alex Smith keeps it again. A beautiful fake as he read the defense and sprints to the 30-yard line for a 1st and 10. The Wizard handling the ball that time, and out came Smith for the 20-yard gain.
Brent, that fake was so good that some of the Pittsburgh players were celebrating after the tackle right here. They thought the running back had the ball. They were up there pumping their fist to the sideline, and the running back did not even have the football. A Wizard. He's doing it in every area of this football game.
Four wide receivers, and let's see if they empty it. They do. Ganther is now out, giving him 5 wide. Offensive line gives him beautiful protection. Deflected, and there's the call. 15 yards and a 1st and 10. Sam Bryant, the safety from Reading, Pennsylvania, committed the foul.
Yeah, they thrown the ball to John Matson right there. Matson caught that earlier touchdown. Little note on Matson right here as you see him going right. There's no safety in the middle of the field. Quarterback Alex Smith knows that. He guns it right in there, doesn't lob it up, and you can see the grab as John Matson right there on that post play. And Alex Smith continues to impress no matter where he throws the ball. And no little short ones behind the line, and not a lot of screens here. He's done it by throwing this ball down the field, okay? I know those shovel passes are short ones. They've been in the middle. That's why he's 10 for 11 over the middle of the field. But anywhere he throws the football, he has been super accurate.
At the 44-yard line. Smith hit on the release, and it is low. Well, our referee, as we mentioned in the first half, Gordon Reese from the Pac-10, is retiring. But 3 of his colleagues, the linesman, Bob Beal, the line judge, Chuck Zubin, the field judge, Mac Gilchrist, are down there, and they all wanted to pass along the word to Dave Perry of the Big Ten that they would love to come join his press box crew and help out with instant replay.
Yeah, the hot dog squad, right?
A very successful experiment by the Big Ten, and we hope that the NCAA
good work if you can
implements it permanently. 2nd down and 10. Here's Smith. That shovel pass working beautifully to the inside to Paris Warren. You know, it is basically like a triple option. He can go ahead with the shovel pass, pitch it to the outside man, and when you look at the big fellas playing tomorrow night on ESPN, You cannot run the option like that in the NFL because the big fellas will kill your quarterback. But the Dallas Cowboys, they'll try to tee it up against Eli Manning tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern time. Julius Jones has done a very, very good job for the Dallas Cowboys this year as the curtain comes down on the regular season and the playoffs begin next Saturday afternoon on ABC with the wild card doubleheader. 3rd down and 1. Smith again brought down from behind, but he has the 1st down, and Thomas Smith, the defensive end, brings him down. Well, there is H.B. Blades and his father, Benny Blades. They're in a hat over there on the sideline. That's it. Benny, get a good shot of you. Folks, he was one of the toughest I was around when he was down in Miami.
You put Benny at safety. You won't run any crossing routes on Benny.
Benny will stop him.
That's exactly right. Throw that crossing route on Benny. He's right there.
1st down and 10, a handoff. And so we asked young Blades, what's it like playing in front of Pops?
He played in this game, you know, against Penn State, you know, when he was in college. You know, now I'm getting the opportunity to play in this game. So for him, you know, it's like, you know, watching his little boy grow up, you know, into a man. So, you know, it's a great feeling. And, you know, I just want to go out there and I'll make him proud.
And, you know, HB did not show up wearing fatigues.
That didn't work.
No, Penn State got it done. How many passes they intercept that night? 4 of 5 in that championship game.
Look how
Smith fires to Warren. 1st down and 10. Well, we've had these great aerial shots here tonight, courtesy of Tostitos, proud sponsor of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, as the sea of red down below the Utah fans.
You know, as Alex
pour into Tempe, Gary.
As Alex Smith closes in on 300 yards passing in this game, you know, he's only had 3 300-yard passing games in his career, and they were all against BCS conference football teams. He did it against Oregon, North Carolina, and Texas A&M, and now he looks like he's going to do it against Pittsburgh.
There's that spread look and a whistle prior to the snap. So I'm sure that there are a lot of fellas down in Gainesville who are watching this with great interest tonight. Chris Leak, and I will tell you, fellas.
False start. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
One thing. Went out to practice the other day and I watched. You fellas better get ready to run from station to station. That was a no-nonsense practice that Urban Meyer ran. One of the best that I have seen in recent years. There's not a lot of fat. Get ready to work it off in the weight room. Get ready to run early in the morning. This is a no-nonsense coach headed down to Gainesville. Now, I know that Ron Zook did a fine job of recruiting, but that's just part of it. And Urban Meyer is on his way to the SEC. He's been a success every place else. Catch, of course, by Paris Warren, number 5, who we've watched. A little bit of John going on down there.
I'll tell you, decision maker, but it's more than that. It's athletes making plays. Coming around, he looks this way, and then he gets the crossing route the other way. Watch this, looks to his left, comes back to his right, nice little route inside to Warren, and then people block to the outside. It was John Matson, number 23. I've been trying to give you this note, Brent. Do you know John Matson did not even play high school football?
What did he play in high school?
Baseball.
Well, baseball player moving over to football. Savoy gives it on, back to Warren. Warren, touchdown Utah.
Flea flicker off the screen. How about that one? Never seen that play.
That was brand new, wasn't it?
Yep.
They broke the seal off of that one.
Steve Spurrier didn't even invent one like that. The old ball coach is going to break that one down.
Urban Meyer showing everybody why Salt Lake hates to lose him. And Gainesville can't wait for him to arrive.
That is a wonderful play.
35-7.
Now remember, this team hasn't played in a while, and they run a high-risk screen and pitch and touchdown. Does it get any better than that? That is fun. Oh, man. You know, this is the type of offense where you just look forward to getting up at 6 in the morning. Because you get, if you do all the hard stuff, you get to do all the fun stuff.
For you linemen down in Gainesville, that was a quarterback saying it was fun to get up at 6.
I still don't like to get up at 6.
I know it's hard. Check it down below with Jack.
Well, Brent, I asked Urban Meyer why he has so many tricks in his bag of tricks. And this is a great quote. He said, as he was chuckling, well, I just like to do stuff to bother people.
Well, he has bothered the entire BCS Old Guard with what he's accomplished here this year.
Telling you,
kicking down the door.
Telling you, you talk and play with anybody. Telling you that right now.
Take a knee and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. Well, you take a look at Alex Smith and what he's accomplished here tonight. 24 of 29, 296 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Now, Paris Warren, number 5, has 13 catches for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he is the young man who was here with Oregon a few years ago. Kellen Winslow came into this game and had 11 catches as a junior. Kevin against Ohio State in that famous championship game. So Warren now with the Fiesta Bowl record here tonight, and he has done it against Pittsburgh. The final seconds run out on the 3rd quarter, and our presentation of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl will return after this message and a word from our ABC station. We start the 4th quarter, and the unbeaten Utes have this one well under control right now, leading at 35-7. Tyler Palco and the Panthers coming out from their own 20. On the run, fires complete out to the 36-yard line. There's Del Sardo wants a walk-on. Well, Utah, and Gary's talked a lot about how he thinks they can compete against anybody. Another team that's been overlooked goes down to the Nokia Sugar Bowl to take on unbeaten Auburn. Virginia Tech, your feeling about that team going in?
You know, you called Pittsburgh blue collar. There's no more blue collar football team in college football than Virginia Tech. They're well coached. Frank Beamer has recruited players to his system for 10 years there. They know how to play any system and any team. They can play with anyone also. There's about 10 teams, I think, that can all interchange their games.
Yeah, we Gordon Reese, the referee in his last game, has been hit and is down here, receiving some attention at the 16-yard line. Now, we direct you to the top
keep your eyes
right
up here.
corner up in here, and you can see him trailing on the play, and had the arm extended, and
yeah, he saw it coming, and he was blocked. The Utah player was blocked into him. He saw it coming. Great instincts. He knew he was going to get hit. He just didn't have that bench press arm strength anymore, and he went down.
Well, he'll dust himself off, continue. He's a tough rascal. We'll take a break.
You're watching the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl on ABC Sports.
Sometimes you got to officiate hurt, and look at the grass stains.
Oh, yeah,
Man,
look
it's
at that
been a
right there.
Tough night.
Look at that right there. He's got the grass stains on his shoulder, 2 spots.
What'd you say, that stiff arm's not what it used to be?
No.
First down and 10. Fake by Palco.
Look at that coverage.
And down at the 23-yard line, Hackenbrook, the senior from Bend, Oregon.
No one to throw to. Perfect coverage in the secondary. Hackenbrook, who can fly as a middle linebacker, and another sack. How many is that?
6.
Jeez. There is no one open. Look at this man-to-man coverage. You get a crossing route. Watch him latch on. Go about halfway through. And you'll see, guys, look at this. Latched on, latched on, latched on. Safety in the middle. Look at that. You try to find somebody to throw to, and you got 3 big Samoans chasing that can all bench press 460 pounds. Good luck. Here comes another one.
They'll set the screen against it this time. And Murphy picks up the first down.
Great call. Hackenbrack is right in Tyler Palko's face, and Palko doesn't back down from anyone.
22 yards and the first down.
Watch Palko. He gets Hackenbrack again, right? The crisscross blitz. Nobody picks it up. Gets it. Gives him a little shove. Look at Palko. Throw him around. Push him back. Palko's ready. He's going to be a brilliant football player these next 2 years in Pittsburgh.
He's a Pittsburgh kind of quarterback,
Yes,
isn't
he
he?
is.
Hit, released. Boy, did he take it trying to get it to Lee.
Was that Fanene that time again? I'm not sure if it was Fafidi or Fanene. It doesn't really make any difference, does it? Let's see who gets him this time. Oh, man, look at that. Big Fafita that time. Gets him, Steve. He has been a monster inside.
Second down and 10. Downfield and short of the first down. Well, Gary was Fanene and Fafita. He was talking about it. So when you come to do a Utah game, the pronunciation guide is critical. And so there's Kemoeatu, Buaha, Tagovailoa, and folks, I was so happy to see their quarterback. Okay.
How do you do that one?
Can't miss on that.
Alex Smith.
Can't miss on Alex.
I tell you.
Third down and short now for the Panthers.
You learn them real fast, though, when they make that many plays.
Stick with the last names, and you will be safe, you young broadcasters. Got in on him again. There's a penalty flag, however.
All Mountain West, Steve Fafita has been unblockable inside.
Before the snap, false start, offense, right guard. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
You know, under Kyle Whittingham, this Utah defense, this isn't a one-year wonder. This in the 4 out of the last 6 years in the Mountain West, they have led that conference in scoring defense. He has been a mainstay, both under Ron McBride, and of course Urban Meyer recognized a good thing and kept him as his defensive coordinator.
Third down for Palko. Penalty flag is thrown, and Palko scrambling for the first down. But the penalty flag was thrown as they have got their hands full with Fafita.
They held him.
Double teaming him. They had 2 guys working on the nose man that time. And coming up as Eric Weddle, the safety, is up talking to the quarterback. I want you to take another look at this when we get an opportunity here, right coming up.
Inside number 94, a handful. Brent said it's exactly what they got, a handful holding him for 10-yard holding penalty. And then at the end of the play, let's see what the flag was. Palko runs smartly, gets as much as he can, doesn't slide, goes head first, and you can see he got him with the head right there.
Holding, offense, number 62. Still third down.
So that's Belarski, the center, who's had his hands full all night against the middle of this Utah front.
Look at Steve Fafita right there. Look at the size of that man, and he can move.
Afiaki was on for that last play. He now goes over to the sideline. Burnett checks in. As they change the front now, they'll use 3 down. Hoo-ha's coming. Palko steps away from him. Incomplete. Tried to get it downfield to Eric Gill, the tight end. And it was covered by Morgan Scally.
Utah only rushed 2 players on that time, but it looked like Morgan Scally, to me, grabbed the shoulder of Gill as he went across that time and threw Gill slightly off his route.
Gressel back to punt for the Panthers. Under pressure, gets it off. Fair catch at the 26-yard line by safety Eric Weddle. That's for Alex Smith, and the Utes will put it in play.
The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive presentation brought to you by Tostitos. Nothing brings people together like Tostitos chips and salsa. Tostitos, share something good. Allstate, a proud sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series. Chrysler, inspiration comes standard. And Napoleon Dynamite, available on DVD today.
Well, the officials have gone to the bullpen. Brian O'Kane replaces the injured Gordon Reese on his final night. Try that cap, see if it's okay, and handed off the whistle. And so the alternate, Brian O'Kane. And for Gordon Reese, we pass along our best wishes for a great retirement. He gets to beat the crowd out of here. It's 35-7 already. And Gordon was a heck of an official through the years out of the Pac-10. And a very, very nice man on top of it. So it'll be second down and long after that play by Marty Johnson, the running back. And there he is, getting the lift on the way home.
Shoulder might be tightening up on him. He's going to go in there.
He went down hard after, extending that arm out there. And, he was wincing with it. And we certainly hope that it's not anything serious.
Tell Tom Hansen he can write off a massage later tonight on part of his expense report.
Second down and 8. They set the shovel pass again with Warner. Fumble and recovered by the Panthers as Morris, the safety, jumps on it and recovers the fumble.
Neither team turns the ball over a lot for these two football teams.
This is our first turnover tonight.
Absolutely. And you can see this one's slightly inside pitch, comes behind, and it's knocked out from behind this time. And that's a turnover that maybe you put some more points on the board.
Meanwhile, Warren, his numbers continue to mount. That's his 14th catch of the night for 196 yards. But he also a costly turnover at the end of it. Palko firing, Lee, end zone, incomplete, and the field judge says no. And Sunday, a world premiere movie that behind the scenes story of a television phenomenon, Dynasty, the making of a guilty pleasure. Sunday at 9, 8 Central on ABC.
I'll tell you, Bo Nagahey that time, Brent, the other corner on the opposite side of the field had brilliant coverage. I think Palko wanted to go to the top, his right side, and was forced to come back and throw into coverage to Lee.
Lee with 6 catches for 82 yards, and Pittsburgh's lone touchdown here tonight. At the 20-yard line, that should be a 1st and 10. Yes, it is. First down for Pittsburgh, as that's an 11-yard gain. And the big fella now with 7 for 93 yards.
I'll tell you, great discipline by Greg Lee. The fundamentals of catching the ball. When it's above your waist, you get those hands in front of you, thumbs together, and pluck it. That's perfect job by Greg Lee. Nice throw, keep it out in front of you, and snap it out of the air.
Palko down 35-7, continues to battle.
Here they come.
All-out blitz. Incomplete. If they had just been able to release Gary a tight end into the middle or something, and dump it, they'd have gone for a touchdown that time. That was an all-out blitz.
Brent, Tim Murphy that time did a great job of buying time for his quarterback. He saw the blitz. He read it inside out. You always look for safeties first, and watch Murphy come up and knock Weddle off the play and allow Pelko to set up, step into the throw, and almost get one.
So the all-out safety blitz that time. 2nd down and 10. Steps up, incomplete. And it has come now to 3rd down.
The pass rush that time forced Tyler to move up in the pocket, and he never really could reload and get that ball out on time. Trying to get that ball to Eric Gill, but again, decent coverage to the outside combined with that pass rush kept that communication and timing just off a bit.
Murphy again throws a block, but Palco can't get it off. And he is sacked at the 28 by Hackenbrook. And that is 7 sacks for this Utah defense.
There's no doubt that was the game plan. The only way Pittsburgh could win was to keep their quarterback clean. Murphy attempts it, but good coverage down inside, and Hackenbrook does a great job of releasing through it and getting in there and get another sack.
The last field goal attempt by Pittsburgh was blocked. Cummings will try it again. The punter is the holder. He'll put it down just inside the 35. No good. It is still 35-7, unbeaten Utah. (35-7) and Utah 9-26 away from an unbeaten season. We've had a record set by this defensive Utah here tonight. They have tied Nebraska and Colorado with the most sacks in a Fiesta Bowl at 7. Nebraska did it against Florida back in 1996. Alex Smith going deep, Savoy, incomplete and almost picked off by Revis, the freshman corner. So again, a reminder, the NFL moves center stage tomorrow. Then on Monday night is the Nokia Sugar Bowl, Virginia Tech. Then on Tuesday, the battle for the BCS championship. USC and Oklahoma will square off in the FedEx Orange Bowl. Second down. There's the running play with Ganther, who scored their first touchdown today to the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Gilliard, the safety, making the stop.
You know, Brent, Revis dropped that interception possibility there. A true freshman playing corner all year. But you know, in high school, great stat for him. In that state championship high school football game, he scored 5 touchdowns. 2 nights later in a basketball game, he scored 35 points. And
he could play basketball.
You bet he could play basketball.
3rd down. 4 yards to go. And there is the first down. And that's the first catch of the night by Latondres, the senior from El Dorado Hills. Well, you know, we talked to Walt Harris about what he's leaving Dave Wanstead next season. This is what Coach Harris had to say.
I think he has a reasonable chance to have a good ball club. I know that the bar has been set, and I wish him and our football players all I can wish, all the best of luck.
Walt is very sad about leaving Pittsburgh and these players. This is not an easy move for him out to the West Coast. But the time had come, according to those who run the athletic department. And Dave Wanstead, of course, was a fine hire. He's the Stanford head coach next year. Alma mater Pacific. So Walt Harris will take the West Coast offense to the farm.
And when Walt got there, Pittsburgh wasn't too hot of a program, and he's been good for Pitt football and has done, you know, he was pretty close a couple years back, and a couple of those teams had chances to go all the way. This was a rebuilding year, and not a bad rebuilding year at Pitt. Got a lot of talent coming back on offense, especially.
Short of the first down. Savoy is yanked down on that far side over there by Blades.
Smith over 300 yards passing in this game. He's been a surgeon with the passing game.
Well, as we look down our FedEx Express passing yards tonight, Utah with 316, Pittsburgh 215. As Alex Smith 27 of 33, and rushing 123 rushing yards for Utah. They have dominated with 438 total yards. More coming as Savoy picks up the first down to the 40-yard line.
You know, another thing that this spread does to you, if you do not get it stopped, and I think the only really way to do it in my mind is you must attack the quarterback a little bit. You got to go after him a bit. Is your defensive lineman run out of gas? And I'll tell you right now, if you didn't even have an offensive line out there, they might have a tough time sacking Alex Smith, because that front four for Pittsburgh, all 8 of them, first and second team, are out of gas.
On first down, Alex Smith firing end zone, incomplete. The Chrysler passing playbook.
Oh, I tell you, this has been the play of the game. If you want to know maybe the signature play for Utah, you got to say it's this triple option shovel pass. If you can't stop this play, it's like the old hand of the fullback in the wishbone. If you can't stop this play, you can't beat this team.
Cactus Jack and Lee Grosscup gave him a pretty good play to build on.
You know, any question about Alex Smith's arm strength, just show that play right there to the scouts. Flat-footed, he threw that ball 45 yards on a line into the end zone.
Now again, we fully expect him to declare for the NFL. There he was running the ball. Gary, let me ask you this. Is he ready physically for the NFL? I know you think his arm is good enough, but what about his stature?
You know, he may be a couple years away in stature and getting built up, but you know what? To me, he's the best field presence quarterback I've seen since Drew Brees. He's got that feel of the game that is unteachable. And you know, I knew people doubted Drew Brees, but this guy does not make mistakes mentally. And I think he has just as good, he's got a little better body frame than Drew, but I think that he's going to be a future star in the NFL.
Drew Brees enjoying just a wonderful season with Marty Schottenheimer and the San Diego Chargers, the comeback story of the year as they head off as winners of the AFC West.
Drew ran a similar offense to this. Ooh, got hit on that one, didn't he?
Buried at the 46-yard line.
I think it was big Dan Stevens came in on that one, I think, and Thomas Smith coming from the defensive end. A little stunt up front. Beautiful spin move by Smith. Comes in there and gets big Alex Smith. As good as you can get him. He got stung really well just as he was getting that ball loose. Smith has not missed a play this season. And on that play, if you don't go out after one of those, you're not going to go out. Fourth down, and Utah's going to play for it.
Clock running down, so they'll take a timeout. 35-7. All Utah. 5:16 left in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Utah well on its way. This is a fourth down play coming up for Alex Smith after the timeout. Behind that offensive line, which has been dominant all evening long. on the move. Alex will get thrown out of bounds, and Pittsburgh will take over. That was Joe Clearman, the redshirt freshman from down Tampa way.
Had Savoy wide open, but the pass rush kept Smith completing that one.
ABC Sports coverage of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl continues.
Well, the last time a U team finished the season unbeaten and untied was back in 1930, and Urban Meyer, despite having a stranglehold on this game, is still coaching away over there and not happy. Falco did just get that off, and it'll be second down and 10. Buhuha was coming in on him, and Utah a little bit slowed in the first half, but now they have dominated.
Talked about what the keys were for Utah to win this football game: attack and sack, don't make a lot of mistakes, and be patient. They did exactly that. One late turnover, meaningless, 7 sacks, and they've been balanced with their rush and their pass, haven't tried to force the ball downfield all night.
Incomplete. Intended for Kinder. The safeties have been very active for Utah in this game, both with coverage, doubling wide receivers, blitzing. The front, of course, has been so hard to block tonight by that Pittsburgh offensive line. This has been a total domination by Utah. Del Sardo short of the first down. We go down below to Jack.
Well, Brent, as they end their season, if you ask the Utah Utes what's the defining moment of their season, it came in the very first game of the year against Texas A&M. Early in the fourth play of the game, Alex Smith connects to Steve Savoy there for a 78-yard touchdown, put him up 7-0, and they say that's when they knew they had a team that was something special.
And here tonight, that team leads at 35-7. Adam Gressel back into punt.
There's a bad snap.
And Gressel going to take off. Got a chance.
He got there.
Looks like he got the first down. And let's see where they spot this for a first down. 7 yards.
The snap bounced back about halfway. The fake was on all the way that time. Center kind of led Grassel over there that time for that fake punt.
First down and 10 after Gressel picked up the first with the 7 yards. Sacked again, and there is the record. 8 sacks on the night. And now our mad move of the game, Gary.
Well, you don't see much of this. I've really never seen it. A screen lateral down in the red zone. Pitch it, get the lineman out, lateral it back, the old hook and ladder on a screen pass to Warren. What a beautifully designed and executed play.
Del Sardo at the 45-yard line leads up to a third down. They're coming up without a huddle right now with 3 minutes left. Palco will operate back from the shotgun, and Kyle, next year's Utah coach, Kyle Whittingham, signaling in the defense. Del Sardo for the first and 10, and the clock will stop as the Panthers hurry down, trying to rush another score in.
Tell you, Tyler Palko keeps his fundamentals very sound, even though he's been sacked 8 times tonight. Keeps his feet spread out, throws on his toes, and he's very tough and accurate.
Got him.
Beautiful.
Incomplete.
He really knows what he's doing as a quarterback. He has been well schooled. Walt Harris can be very proud of that project.
Boy, he had
Palko.
him wide open over there. Greg Lee, number 86.
He held those safeties tight. It was that Tampa 2 defense that a lot of people are playing in the NFL. The safeties are wide. The middle linebacker drops very deep. You have to hold those safeties and then throw it the last second wide. He did a beautiful job at it, just not quite accurate enough. Be ready, Tyler. Here they come.
Safeties are coming. Hit him on the release. And it's incomplete. Fanene in on top of him again. $35-7 is our score as Palko looks over on 3rd down to get the signal. Here they come again. Dances away. And just throws it incomplete. It'll come now to 4th down.
It's like sharks feeding on those blitzes all night. That time no one picked up the safeties, and Palko did a great job of getting away from it, but had no one to throw to.
So Fafita picks up the Defensive Player of the Game award, we are told, and he salutes the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl committee member who told him about that honor. Co-MVPs for the offense here tonight, Alex Smith, and he is joined by Paris Warren. Warren with a record-breaking 14 receptions for 195 yards. Smith was 28 for 36 for 325 yards. Down he goes. Down goes Palko for the 9th time, and Hackenbrook, the youngster from Bend, Oregon, has been all over him.
Well, if you ask me what you have to do against a spread quarterback, that's what you have to do. You must let them know on every snap that you're willing to bring the blitz. You don't have to bring it, but you're willing to do it. When you're running those spread teams, I don't know if you got a little face mask on that one, but Hackenbrook and Palko have met a number of times tonight.
So as the Utes come up here for the final 2:19 to wrap up an unbeaten season for the little team that could, the fairy tale out of the Wasatch. And we asked Urban Meyer, so we're going to use this as this game winds down, and if you're ahead, what you want to leave behind for the Utah fans. What do you want them to know about the Urban Meyer era?
One of the great goals that we set forth was not to win a Mount West Conference championship. When I met with our athletic director, Dr. Chris Hill, was to create enthusiasm, get the students involved, and get a passion for Utah football. And we've done that. And to hand the torch to a guy you care about, a great football coach, and to know that program's heading in the right direction, as if that's all you can do.
So Kyle Whittingham becomes the next head coach of Utah, and we asked Kyle what his approach would be next year.
I'm thinking I'm going to spend a great deal of my time in the offensive line meetings and the quarterback meetings, and just keeping up to date on everything that's going on the offensive side of the ball.
And he gets the bath on the far side.
And it's the red stuff too. With the white shirt, he gets the red stuff on the back right there.
That's Utah
Gain
red.
of 3, 3rd and 8 at the 34.
So Urban Meyer takes the show on the road again. As they wind down the clock, we want to thank the executive producer of ABC Sports, Mike Pearl. Alex Smith still dancing, the senior producer Bob Toms, the coordinating producer and producer of tonight's game Bob Goodrich, the director Steve Bime, the technical director Randy Hargrove, the associate producer Will O'Toole, the associate director Brian Fay, the production assistant Juliana Barbieri and Dan Baer, production manager Christy Gravy, technical manager Mark Towie, computer stats Craig Rothberg, booth stats George Hill, spotter Brian Mobilson, scorebook operator Jason Polstein, stage manager Wellington Wilmore Jr., the Yankee himself, and a very special thanks to John Junker, the president, and Armando Flores, the chairman of the board, and the 2,500 Tostitos Fiesta Bowl volunteers, and to all those Utah fans who came down the range and supported their unbeaten football team. A dream season, a dream come true.
Marty Johnson.
For the little team that could from the Mountain West. Urban Meyer. Looking for Walt Harris as he dries himself off. A 35-7 triumph, and unfortunately an exchange there between a couple of players. Very, very unfortunate to have it end on something like that. Urban and Walt, friends. Let's go to Jack.
Coach, congratulations. Unbeaten, unblemished, not since 1930 the Utah Utes been able to do that.
In today's day and age of college football, that's hard to do. When there's a bunch of great football teams out there and to go undefeated with the parity in college football, what a great effort by our guys.
This has been a very special team since day one. How difficult is it going to say goodbye?
Well, it's going to be very difficult. This is the best group of young men I've ever been around. So this is it's going to be hard to say goodbye, but we're saying goodbye 12-0.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Jack.
Welcome back to the Ford postgame report. A brief wrap-up of Utah wrapping up its unbeaten season here, Gary. And you were very, very impressed by the Utes on both sides of the ball here.
Yeah, I think it was pretty evident when you put on the tape that this is a football team that is talented at a lot of positions. And, you know, if Boise State can play with Louisville, there's no reason why Utah can't play with the big powers in football. And they could compete with this special group of players this year, defense and offense. 9 sacks in this football game.
So the curtain comes down. And 2 more big games to come. Monday night, of course, down at the Nokia Sugar Bowl will be Virginia Tech taking on unbeaten Auburn, another of the unbeatens. And then the next night, the national championship game at the FedEx Orange between Oklahoma and USC.
They've been able to do it by running the ball, throwing the ball, great defense, and a little bit of a shuffle pass. From every direction, this offensive defense was attacking all night. Alex Smith was on fire, and this offense with trick plays and physical plays dominated all night.
It was 35-7 as Utah winds up with a dream season behind Alex Smith, Utah's first Heisman Trophy finalist, who tonight was 29 of 37 for 328 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. The celebration continues, and I'm sure it's underway in Salt Lake. ABC Sports Online at ESPN.com. Search ABC Sports. Emotional consideration, studio host clothing. And then Monday night, of course, the BCS continues as undefeated Auburn takes on Virginia Tech in the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Once again, our final score, 35-7.
Once upon a time, in the land of the Mountain West, lived a proud but quiet school known as Utah. For years, Utah toiled in obscurity, ignored by the conference kings, disenchanted by pole wizards. But to their side came a knight in shining armor. And with this prince of precision, they rode off to attack the giants of the land and beat them at their own game. Through the autumn, they lost not, and when the last foe had fallen, the curse was broken. And a wish granted, for Utah had earned their invitation to the BCS Ball. Now if they but smite the mighty Panther from the Burg of Pitts, they would forevermore live happily ever after.
And smite the mighty Panther they did, 35-7. The little team that could came out of the Mountain West and stunned the big boys of the BCS. Just send me the check. We did the rest. So long, everybody.
Continuing the tradition of excellence, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports Championship Television. The Ford Postgame, brought to you by Ford, an unprecedented 6 new vehicles right here, right now. Ford, built for the road ahead.